something big happened this week, and it's kind of driving me crazy that like nobody is talking about it. So the Supreme Court just this week ruled unanimously against Whole Foods and like big manufacturers. So back in 2021, this couple from Texas sued Whole Foods and a baby food manufacturer. They claimed that the baby food they had been feeding their son, which they had been purchasing at Whole Foods, gave their son toxic heavy metal poisoning. Their son, Ethan, had normal development up until he was around 2.5 years old. However, at that time, he started having seizures, he regressed heavily, and was ultimately diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. He was exhibiting all of the classic signs of toxic heavy metal poisoning. Well, this couple had been feeding their son basically exclusively this organic baby food, Earth's best organic baby food. And this baby food had also been proven to have significantly high levels of lots of heavy metals, lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium. So this couple sued Whole Foods and the baby food manufacturer for their son's medical problems. Ultimately, they lost in court because the baby food manufacturer did this like legal maneuver, okay? The couple appealed. It's now made its way all the way up to the Supreme Court. And just this week, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the couple and against Whole Foods and the baby food manufacturer. This is really significant. The fact that this conservative-leaning Supreme Court has now ruled in favor of the little guy is huge, but it has implications also beyond that, okay? Number one, this is like one less thing that companies can use in order to evade accountability. Obviously, there's still going to be other legal tricks that they can use, but it just means that they have one less tool in their toolbox, right? But even more importantly, this puts Whole Foods and actual manufacturers more on the hook for hurting customers, right? Unfortunately, we have very few regulations on the safety of our products, and the few that we did have, Trump has basically taken away in the past year. So that means that suing manufacturers for literally hurting our children is one of the only recourses that we have at this point, right? However, in general, there's a lot more good news. Since 2021, there have been a lot of changes, mostly at the state level. California is doing way more than the federal government is, and it does benefit you even if you don't live in California. In California, all baby food manufacturers are mandated to test any food that is supposed to be for children under the age of 2, right, for heavy metals at least once a month. They then have to publish these tests online, and on the back of every baby food container, whether that's a pouch or a jar, there needs to be a QR code. Any person can then scan this code and access those results. That is already in effect, and that benefits everybody in the country.